Hello, everybody. Happy lunch break, everybody. This is 12:30 here in Geneva, Switzerland. Hope you are enjoying your lunch break, and thank you for tuning in because of obviously sometimes it's the last moment of peace that we have during the day, so it's all the more appreciated. I'm Daniel. I am here, your host today, and I'm going to lead you through this live broadcast, which is for the first time actually the live broadcast during, I would say, prime time when everybody can watch, and it was also properly announced. And sorry for this little delay because I just had the chat with my guest, which was already a lot of fun to do. So today the question is, what is about live broadcasting? What kind of can we do about it? So as I'm doing live broadcasting right now, obviously I want to show you this experience here. It says I was doing live broadcasts long time ago, like in internet terms already 5 years ago. And that was when I worked for a bank for their YouTube let's say marketing strategy, getting this into like really practice. They had a real studio set up and we did content marketing there, and it was super fun to do. I had in 1 year more than 400 interviews and quite some experience, but that all changed. Here, 5th of August 2015, Facebook launched its live, and somehow I didn't realize it quite yet, but you can say sometimes you can connect the dots in hindsight only, so you don't see where you are in, really. Do you know this experience? So here we have, thank you everybody for joining, and send your comments. Hello Theresia, hello Claudia. And so this Facebook Live was just the first of the services. There were other smaller services before, but then Twitter followed with Periscope, and YouTube is doing a live. So when we look back to last year, 2020 also had its impact. Here is a picture, a graph I found from the streaming service Restream that I'm also using right now to do multi-streaming, which shows the impact of 2020. Here we have the confinement in March and the streams from Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch here, really doubling, tripling, quadrupling. So this is definitely a trend that we can see. And let's just ask the question, what happens actually if this new normal is the real new normal, if it's going to stay this way? And then the next question would be, what can you do about it? How can you actually benefit from this? And now live broadcasting is accessible to everybody. So I remember I was always fascinated with radio, with television, with broadcasting. I did so many internships, freelancers in radio, in television stations. Of course, the magic thing was to have the microphone there, to be the one in front of the mixer and be in charge, and also maybe have the connection to have the show. But now actually the question is, do you have just like the right content, I would say, to share? Do you have your audience? And then you're ready to go. So you can do it as well. And so this is why I'm especially pleased to welcome my, I would say, tutor, mentor, coach on live broadcasting, because it all started about half a year ago when I saw, wow, what can be done? I discovered this program Ecom Live, which I'm also streaming with right now, where you can do these kind of overlays, backgrounds, and so forth. And then you can also really go with going live, and you can make it like your own show. And I found this man. His name is Adrian Salisbury. He's from Cambridgeshire in the UK, and he is offering just phenomenal service on live broadcasting and coaching. Welcome, Adrian.
Hey, Daniel. Great to be here.
Thank you so much for making it happen, and making this
Almost
first
the same
live.
glasses. Look at us.
Look, yeah. So I had this before, but it certainly is a great match, I have to say. And of course, but we are recognizable through the accent. You have the real English accent, and of course
Yes.
your track record in life. If I may quickly introduce you, Adrian. So you are a former professional photographer who found his passion in broadcasting for YouTube and then later for live. And so you're also offering courses on like how to really reach out through video, through live, online. And you are now a massive YouTube influencer with 100,000 followers. That's more than 100,000 followers. And you are my coach and mentor. And we have, I think, in common that we also find the power of live broadcasting really amazing. So is there something you would like to add? And when did it really start, your passion with live broadcasting, Adrian?
Yeah. To be honest, there's a mix really, and I think I don't think live is replacing pre-recorded video content and things. I think there's a place for both of them very much. They have different purposes. So I came very much as a photographer, constantly being asked, how do I do this on my camera? And how can I make this look better? And how do you get a blurry background? And all of this sort of stuff. And I started a YouTube channel. I started a website and really answering people's questions in videos on YouTube. None of that was live. It was all pre-recorded, and only really getting into, I think when live first started, it was very, if you remember, it was really kind of grab your phone and do a behind the scenes style, very basic, very poor quality. It didn't matter if your hair was up and you were in your pajamas. It was just this real kind of behind the scenes. And I didn't really take to that because, like you, I'm more interested in the professional side of it. And I'm looking going, that's not the image I want to put across. So I didn't jump straight on live streaming on Periscope and things. But then really for me, much like you, having come across Ecom, I was a few years ahead of you, but discovering Ecom and realizing I can go live, but still keep this same standard and quality as if I were recording a video. And that appealed to me. And all of a sudden thinking, okay, I can mix the interaction of a live broadcast with the quality of a professional set. Yeah. And I think when we look at what, you showed there a little show reel of your previous experience, that would have been tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars gone into that equipment to be able to put that show together. Exactly. We can now do it sitting with we're both in our homes with a camera in front of us, and we can actually create the same power and effect doing this, can't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is what I just realized in hindsight, that wow, so how did the broadcast industry actually change as well? Because it was so much about like, oh, you have to know this special person and then maybe you have a chance to get in and things like that. And I think I was never that attracted to it, I have to say, because of it, because I thought, okay, so you have to be really pushy to get your point across. But I see more and more that, as you also said, this accessibility on the other hand, that you can just pick up your phone and then make a live and reach out to your audience is really absolutely phenomenal. And the only thing now that is limiting is the time, the screen time that people are willing to take. And I think here I already say in my last lives, in my test lives like that, that of course it doesn't if you have that good message, if you can reach out with something that you're really passionate about, that's something where people say, okay, I would like to listen to the story. But if you then have this notch higher, that you have the right light, that you have the microphone and everything fits, and so it's a pleasurable experience, that can certainly distinguish you from others. Yeah.
Wow. I can remember one of my customers saying to me, because I used to do an example where I would flick on my webcam on my MacBook Pro and it was a much lower quality. And I would say, look at this one and then compare this one to me when I come through on this camera. And he said, I thought he summed it up really well. He said, when I'm watching that the lower quality. It's like I'm watching a video that you've made, but when you show up like this, it's like you're actually there in front of me, and the quality, it feels like we're actually here having a conversation. I mean, we are, but in like a pre-recorded video terms as well, you know, people connect a lot better when you up the quality, and partly because everybody has, you know, because it is so easy to just grab your phone and go live or record a video. Everyone's doing it. So all of a sudden now, the problem is that there's so many choices and so many options. If you want to stand out in that, stop the scroll, as we say, you know, and someone's going, oh, here's a load of videos. Oh, this one looks like professional. He must be good. And it looks good. It sounds good. And like you said, it's actually pleasing to sit and watch, rather than you're struggling to hear it because it's not very loud, or is a bad noise going on, or just a bad image quality. So yeah, it definitely makes the experience better for your viewer. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and also this interactivity. This is really something that is the game changer, I would say, because you really have the possibility now to actively interconnect and to really say, hey, what are the people interested about? And here, Theresia, thank you very much for your first question. So we encourage you, of course, too, to ask the expert, Adrian Salisbury, to ask your questions right now. Great question. Is there a difference between live streaming and live broadcasting? I'm using the word live broadcasting. Is there something that you would say, well, there's a difference in between?
It's a great question, and personally, I haven't really considered this. And I think, Daniel, you're one of the first people that I've come across talking about live broadcasting, but that's because of your background and where you've come into this from. To me, the difference is I consider that a broadcast is very much more one-sided, isn't it? It's me putting a message out there, maybe more like a webinar. Or that sort of style. So a live broadcast would be more of that. I think the live streaming, for me, so I'm not particularly looking between a live broadcast and a live stream, but in terms of a video, you know, do I want to put a tutorial video up, or do I want to do a live stream on it? The live stream for me is very much what we're doing here, and interacting and taking time and going, oh, great question, thanks for being on. You know, it's more of a conversation, and that would be my take on a broadcast. Would be more one-sided, and the live stream, if any difference, the live stream would be more of a two-way conversation, and I would feel more inclined to jump into the chat, and I know that the host will call out the questions and things. Would you agree?
Yes, I think that's absolutely the to consider here. And I always think of like, okay, it's called public broadcast. Of course, it's like more a one-sided thing here. That's in a way everybody like can be like the transmitter now, can be the little radio station, and it's definitely interesting to consider. So thank you very much. Now the questions are coming in. So teacher Adrian, so how can we get this sorted here? So let's first go with Laura Penn from Gland, Switzerland. Hello, Laura. Thanks for being with us. And Laura Penn, by the way, is a public speaker, leadership speaker coach. So she is in the game. And so she is especially asking, okay, is there a starter kit that you would recommend and for going live?
And Laura, better than that, to be honest. We're talking about live streaming here, but my background very much is, my main offering, if you like, is pro video. I run a pro video academy, and for me, I'm very much trying to, like Daniel mentioned at the start, people either use a phone or they go to a studio and have a big production set, and they're working away with that. And I kind of felt that I wanted to bridge that gap and let home users be able to turn up with broadcast quality. So what I've done is to put together an equipment list, which we can make available in here. that I can give you Amazon links to go and get equipment. But more than that, what I've done is created this Pro Video Academy, where actually we make it super easy. And we say, get this equipment, which is what I'm using right now, and it will cost about $1,200 to $1,500 US. You can get this equipment. I've got a set of videos that will show you exactly how to set everything up, just as I've got it here. And then I coach you and help you through it. And as I've been, helping Daniel and others, we do this all the time, and it's absolutely what we love. Is just getting people from nothing and no experience to suddenly showing up like this in a very short space of time.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll talk a bit later on about the Pro Video Academy, but that is absolutely what that is designed for.
Yes, and this is really something that I enjoyed a lot, because it's really, your academy is really bringing the two worlds, the broadcasting or the streaming world, together with the professional videography here, where you really also have great tutorials, like sometimes 2 minutes to 5 to 10 minutes long, really easy to digest. So you're basically having your course whenever you like and whenever you have time. So you get the basics, and then you are also offering every week, sometimes also every day, Zoom or like a Facebook group call where you can really then interact and also discuss examples, which is a fantastic experience. I can just have to say this in advance, but we will talk about this later. So we have a question. Let's say it like this. So more questions. Are you ready for more questions?
Come on.
Okay. So who should do live broadcasting? So it's a very general question, but I was thinking, okay, maybe people also have this idea of, okay, it's only for companies, only for little entrepreneurs. What have you seen in your experience? Who is using
I think anybody can do it, honestly. If you've got an idea or a passion and you think, it's like starting a YouTube channel. If you've got something that you can talk about and share with the world, if you're passionate about it and you're determined enough, then absolutely you can start a live show. You could be building up a community. People get used to seeing you go live, and they know there's going to be some great content coming. And it can be anybody. It's to do with your corporate business, or maybe you love baking and you want to do a show, and every week you're going to show up and bake something. It really doesn't matter what it is, but I do think you want to be in it for the long run. This is not something, if you think, well, I'll give it a try and I'll see, and maybe I'll show up once a month, it's not really going to take off. If you really want to do live broadcasting, then have a plan and a goal, and be determined that this is where you want to go. Which channel it is, you can try and test and see which you get better interaction from, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or other platforms. But I honestly think anybody could do it and should be doing it. There's no better way to. I have people come to me, emailing me constantly saying, these aren't lives, these are pre-recorded videos that I put on YouTube, but people say, I love your videos, I'm consuming them all, where can I find out more about you? So I'm not selling anything to them. They are genuinely saying, I love the content you're putting out, where can I get more of you, really? And whether that's, so in this scenario, live broadcasting, so you could do all this teaching and training showing up live rather than pre-recorded. Which and is also there's a contrast there that we can come to, because this is a common question, really. Should I go live or should this be pre-recorded? I don't know whether you've got this or whether you were thinking of going down the track. We can hang on if you want, but
it's also a possibility. Certainly, it's also part of live broadcasting or streaming to have this as a recorded piece. Right? Yeah,
I think from the algorithms prefer live, don't they? So the likes of now on LinkedIn or on Facebook, they will boost out easier a live video. But personally, I still love pre-recorded videos. If I want to teach something, and I know that this will stay on YouTube for several years ahead of me, I would still record it because then I can add some better angles in. And I'm trying to consider the user who's watching this. Do they want to watch me chatting and answering questions, or do they just want the answer to the question that they came to YouTube or searched for? This is what I said earlier on. I think there is definitely a case for mixing. The live is more the interactive side and building know, like, and trust, and getting seen and known. But I still do think there is a place for recorded video, because I, as a user, if I go to Google and say, how do I go live on LinkedIn? I don't necessarily want to watch a 30-minute conversation about it. I just want someone saying, here's 3 points, So I think there's a mix. I'm not saying live is taking over or is going to replace pre-recorded videos, but I think there's a nice way that you can merge both of them.
I see it as well. So this is, in a sense, live has the potential to get you fired or get you into the heat that you would probably don't do if you are not doing this regularly. And so right now also Franziska is writing her question. Thank you very much, Franziska. We will take on your question in a few minutes. Thanks for your patience. So, but here, you have the interaction, so you will not get lost in a way. What I've seen is that there are people doing lives. They are doing product tutorials or product reviews. They're having their live audience in, so they already receive kind of interaction and questions that they can mix it in, and then they take this video, repurpose it with additional pictures and cutting it to the right size or cutting out things, and then they have a real interesting interactive and dynamic video that they can then also have as evergreen content on YouTube. So there is actually no right or wrong answer here.
No, and I see people do that very well, where they, we could do if it were a solo broadcast, if you were coming on, Daniel, on your own, and we're doing this and you've got a topic to talk about, you can chat at the start, you can welcome people in, and then you can say, right, let's get into the content. And you almost work through your points like you're doing a presentation, and then you come back to the chat at the end. And like you say, you can cut out that middle part, and that can become a YouTube video or somewhere else. It can also become a podcast. You can just take the audio, so you can repurpose and reuse these videos lots of ways.
Here is a question that I think is an absolute beginner's question, of course, but everybody asks this, and including myself. So how do I know I have something to tell about? So is there, do you think in your experience, do you think it's, if you have the will, the desire, that's already enough? Or do you have to look for something really special? What's your experience when people ask you this or similar questions?
Yeah, it's a good question. And actually, I think most of us would struggle with the whole imposter syndrome, as we call it, that feeling of, who am I? I'm not worthy to be, who's going to listen to me? I think a lot of people start by saying, how am I going to become somebody like that? And we still laugh, we're sitting in our in our home here in England, and you kind of have people all over the world looking in, and you think, how does this happen? It's great. But really, how do you know? For me, in my experience, when I started out, I was talking about photography, and I was always being asked. Somebody would come up to me at church. I used to do a lot of the photography at our church, just sort of weekly shots of people and things for social media. And people would come over and go, "Oh, you've got a camera. I've got one, and I can't get it to do this." Or I've got, would just come up constantly asking questions. And I realized there was a need. There were people that SLR cameras had suddenly become affordable to non-professionals. And then people were saying, how do I get going with this? How do I use this? And maybe I'm looking on YouTube myself thinking, there are lots of people searching these questions. If I've got something to share on it, there'll be an audience for it. But I do think you do need to just test. It might be very random or very unique, something that you feel you can talk about, you do just need to check, are people searching for this now? Are people making videos on it? If it were, I'm trying to think of an example, but you're asking it, how do I know if I've got something to tell about?
Yeah,
I think
but
if it naturally comes up, really, and it's conversation that you find people having, if you were to go to YouTube and search it yourself, and you see lots of people are making videos talking about it, and they're getting thousands of views, then yes, this is something that people are looking for.
Yeah, and also the thing is that go into it, because you will find your answer also, or the thing that you are interested in during the action. Basically, I always find this so interesting, especially now through these interactive formats, and we're having so many great questions. Hello. Also, Imke from Bavaria. This is amazing. So we will. So the only question is: so how do we make the maximum now of our time, of your time, and of our viewers' time? So I will skip some of the question, and I would just like to invite you to my work office. Maybe some of the colleagues are watching now. You maybe realize this office here, and I just wanted to ask, hey Adrian, could you put on your screen? I put on my green screen quickly as well. Hold on. So, and the only thing that I quickly have to change here is that I assign you the green screen and the transparent background, and so we are basically
just bring that fader.
Yes, here we go. So here we go. So we are actually now in this cool environment. We can sit to each other. We can have a good expert conversation here. And I just wanted to quickly go through these. Yes, maybe I have to get a little bit back here. So this is live now. So this is also something that that you can see here. These are some points that I found that are especially catchy about live. So this idea of that you can actually create an engagement. This is, I think, the most important, probably, that you can really get people involved with their questions and with their points. You can also reuse the content, what we just talked about. So you have the possibility to then use a short 90-second video out of your live podcast. I think this live broadcast will have plenty of opportunities for you and me to repurpose it. And then you can produce early. So you can already produce something that you can use as a video later. And so I've seen that so many times that companies basically just live stream their recorded content, and then they're just ready for the questions, which is also nice. This is something that I find especially interesting in this day and age. So trust is my most sacred source. So who to trust anymore? Well, in a live, everything is live. So you are as authentic the way as you are. So with my accent, with my lightning here. So of course we showed you that this is a green screen, but basically you can follow that this is right now, this time and this place. And then I would say the live is having this fantastic attraction of that it's happening now. So people are attracted to take part of it. Yeah. And as we see the 6 people watching us here, this is now through YouTube as well, and through LinkedIn and Facebook. So let's see. But then it's the question of costs, as you have just mentioned. So if you have set up your gear here and your camera and your lightning with about £1,000, that's quite something. You don't have, I think it's not even the cost of a film team to come to your place if you are if you have a company.
It's a fairly basic SLR camera. Everything really is there are limits really, and if you go much cheaper, then you notice it. But then there's a level where you go, actually, that's enough. And it doesn't have to be complicated. now this camera is set up, I turn it on, I focus, and I go. I don't have to bring things in. I've always got this sitting in front of my desk now, as do you. It just it becomes very easy.
Yeah. And so, this is basically
this is what I'm trying to. This is my whole kind of mission, really, is to try and break down these barriers and just let people see how easy it is to do, and to be able to show up like this themselves.
This is it. And so this point about attracting an audience, I thought a little bit about our parents, our grandparents that had this radio that with batteries that was like the access to the world that time. And so now you have your cell phone and you are able to, transmit and to receive like in a fantastic quality. And you can have your audience ready. And I think when I see so many coaches, solo entrepreneurs out there who have already built up their audience, so they have the right audience, the audience that is attracted to that. And as I have thought, we do this live today, I'm sure there will also be contacts from my former broadcast experience that say, wow, okay, so I would like to do this as well. And thank you for having for coming to this wonderful office place here in Geneva, and greetings to the colleagues. Right now, I think we are not allowed to go back into the office, but this is also a little comment or like a little vision here from my point of view. Hey, we can be together as a team with live broadcasting, so you can have these digestible, straightforward either Q&A sessions, talk to the leadership, or talking among each other. There's always something to explore internally, and to share the knowledge and to engage. And so this is how I see this is a fantastic format just to do it.
Yeah.
So now we can see the comments. Actually, here we go. So let's scroll through the comments together. So thank you, Theresia, for your question and for your comments. Also, Adrian, what are the most important things to start a live broadcast on my own?
Yeah. Good question again, Claudia. I think just getting started, honestly. I think a lot of us can procrastinate, and we get, when I've got this, and let me just go off and set that up, and actually just start it. And it's okay to get going, because at the beginning, it's really you getting used to being on camera, knowing what to do, how to interact with an audience. If you're on a Mac, I would love you to come over and join our Ecom Academy, because that is a perfect place to get started and practice. It's exactly what we do over there, is just give people a safe place to have a play and a practice, rather than going out to your audience for that first time. We'll talk about that in a minute, but just honestly, just get going and have a go at it, and know that you're going to keep progressing every week, improving, and it'll be nice to look back and go, wow, do you remember when I used to make videos like that? As you've moved on.
And
so just get started.
And yes, I think so the practice is, of course, also super important to do it maybe regularly, to also have like a devoted audience. And Franziska, so you had to wait for so long. Franziska, thank you very much here from Geneva. And do you have any, I think great question. Do you have any tips how to reach the largest audience with the live broadcasting? I think it's a very good question, because it's actually not that obvious that how you have to reach out. Can you elaborate a little bit on this? What it means in terms of audience building?
I think it depends on the niche that you're in, the industry really that you're in. But if you can get seen and known as an authority in that space, so you could start creating content talking about the topic, and you build this show, you can then reach out to some of these bigger influencers, or maybe there are lots of tips and ideas really, but you can follow some of these guys, you can comment in a helpful way, you can share things, you can just get on their radar really, and who knows, they might reach out to you and go, I'd love to get you on my show. I see you've been really adding value on this. But I mean, this is what I've done with the live streaming space, not deliberately, But I absolutely love Ecom Live as a platform. And so I've made videos about it. And if you type Ecom Live into YouTube or Google, it's covered with videos of me on there. And I've become the authority on Ecom and, within live streaming. So this is, it wasn't necessarily a deliberate action to go, right, there's a key player, I'm going to get on there.
Question to this,
radar, which a
Adrian,
lot of people do.
As you're mentioning Ecom, so is this the only platform that you would recommend? Or there are also platforms like Switcher Studio or something? Is that comparable or?
Yeah, I'm talking, I'm just really my journey, how I've become an authority there with Ecom and with live streaming. There are alternatives. Something's just stuck then.
I think I'm fine. I can see myself. Everything good.
Okay, it seemed to freeze on my end. Yes, if you're on a PC, then there are alternatives to this. And again, it depends at what level you want to get into this. We're doing very clever things here, like Daniel's doing with green screen. We've got the comments in the middle. There are very few platforms that would let you do this. So there are things like Be Live and StreamYard and some, these platforms that you can jump into and do live streaming through, or Facebook itself. But you won't be able to do things like this. You can share a screen. You can. So Switcher that you talk about is very much for iPhones and iPads and is designed for that. Again, limited on you can't do this on it. So the only real alternative to Ecom for this is OBS, which is free, but it is very complicated.
Okay.
And vMix, which again is more of a studio more of a production standard with multiple cameras and things. And so I think Ecom is quite unique in the middle there.
I think so too. So it's really also it's really one of the best packages. So you get also the possibility of having live interview guests such as you right now, Adrian. Yep. So, and even more than 5 people. So I have never seen this in other packages where every guest is basically an additional package. For example, with the Switcher Studio here, you can basically have people dial in through this dedicated streaming link here, and you have people in like you were having people in like a real professional television studio. I think, of course, the streaming quality makes it easier right now, so it's always HD, but it's well displayed on a smartphone. But of course, it's not like super high definition or something. But that is, of course, right now the I think the cut. And let's be clear, all people are watching, or 90% are watching this stream right now through the mobile phones, and just a few through desktop devices. So it's good to go for this moment, and also in terms of the equipment. So you can have great gear, great equipment, like mirrorless camera that has a better objective, or better equipment basically, and has a better picture. Thank you so much. I see so much interactivity now, also from colleagues from my workplace. So really? My internal marketing worked well. Thank you so much, Ho, for being there. You have such a busy schedule today, Ho, and so you still could make it. So question. As the setup, buttons and controls are getting sophisticated, do you think it would be a good idea to have an operator and presenter as 2 separate persons for big and major events?
You absolutely could. It depends where you want to go with this. The software we're using here, Ecom, is designed really for you to be able to host it on your own. And you can get little controls that you can plug in, so things can be added to buttons. So as Daniel's been changing through scenes on here, where he puts me on screen, or then when he puts himself on screen, or now we're on this green screen one with the comments. These are individual scenes that he's made in advance, so that now all he has to do is sit and click a button to go to next scene, go to the one with the comments on and things. So it really is designed for you to manage this on your own. And that's one of the things I love about it. If you wanted to take it on, we were just talking. So Owen, my son, works with us now. He's really good at this, and he started making some overlays and things like scrolling tickers at the bottom, like we see on the news, where all of a sudden there's a breaking news and it comes up along the bottom. We were saying we could absolutely do that, and he could host it. I just come on and talk, and as somebody mentions something, maybe he quickly types it up and then makes it come along the bottom here. So you could go to that level and have somebody produce it for you. But you absolutely don't need to.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Right now, I see that Janet is in as well. Thank you so much for having time, Janet, as well. And you basically ask about what streaming platforms are available. We just had this, and still come up with the conclusion. Ecom Live is right now the leader in the field.
You just answered, yeah.
Pontus is part of the Ecom Live Academy. And so this is also how you build up just like a friendship or a group of friends all over the world. Pontus from Sweden. So nice to have you.
Can I just say a belated happy birthday for yesterday, Pontus? It was your birthday yesterday, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, happy birthday. Yeah, and Pontus is also doing so great and inspirational live casts. It's amazing. Yes. So, but then as we're talking about Ecom, and this is the way to go, there is no question around. Let's learn how to do it and to be the driver in the seat. And so you have something that you would like to share with us, dear Adrian, and it's the Ecom Live Academy. So this is your website. It's adriansalisbury.com. And what's happening? So there's you're hosting a special Ecom Live Academy. You can always book this online course, but what's so special about it these days?
Yeah, okay. So as you can see there, we've got 3 real academies that run. So the Pro Video Academy is all about getting set up for video like this, how to get the equipment, the tech and things like that sorted. You can join that at any time. It's $495 US dollars, which the exchange rate is really bad at the minute. So it becomes very affordable for people over in Europe. And but because our main audience are in the States, that's why we talk dollars. And I think that's typical, really, isn't it? For a global audience, you talk dollars. But so the Pro Video Academy covers that side of things. The Ecom Academy and the YouTube Academy are more like pop-up boot camps that we run for 2 weeks, 4 times a year. YouTube, we're only going to run twice a year actually now, but Ecom, so the reason we do this is rather than going, okay, I'm interested in Ecom, I'm going to go and join now. Yes, you can watch through a series of videos that we've produced, but you're working through it on your own. And it's not as powerful as it is we're creating a virtual event, if you like, that you can come to together. So the likes of you and Pontus and others are there together. You're all working along, you're all going through the sections, and you get to practice. And like somebody mentioned earlier, about going live for the first time. We have lots of people who say, I haven't actually gone live or I've never done an interview. And so we've got a Facebook group, we've got a community space there that we say, reach out to someone and say, hey, would you like to come on a live with me? And then we're all kind of looking in and giving advice and feedback. And it's just been an amazing an opportunity to play really with it. And as you say, so we open this 4 times a year. It's open at the minute, and we're starting our next one on Monday.
Wow.
So
now I can maybe come in because so I was a part of your last your last class starting in I think in October or in November.
That's it. Yep.
And so I got so much out of it. It was an amazing course that is I didn't realize that you can only join at a certain time because it was just fitting right for me, just the right time. But you have these lessons that are didactically really, really nicely laid out with your super duper YouTube style, 2 to 10 minutes,
Yes.
little bits and pieces of lessons, so you can do them whenever you like during the day, and in the evening you have the chance to meet at the Facebook Live group of this academy, right? Is it every evening, or is it some how
There are
how
a
long
couple
is
of
it?
days missing in
Yeah.
the second week because I'm trying to wean people off
Yeah.
the daily lives, and rather than suddenly stopping on the last Friday and that's it. So I introduce a few new things to so maybe people are thinking, how do I start an online business? So I do one of the evenings I do a talk on that. And on another evening, I talk about the Pro Video Academy, for instance. So it works really well.
But it's a
very
great
much
possibility. It's actually the big advantage you have here is you have this community of people that are with you in the same course. They are trying out, so you have a safe space to try out your new live broadcast. It's just within this Facebook Live group, but you are also getting a lot of inspiration because you have people I've seen like people from the US, from Australia doing amazing things, whatever, either like somebody having a tattoo studio, the other person is, I don't know, is a teacher or an attorney. It's amazing.
A neuroscientist.
Yeah. And so at first, like, you get a real feel how this workplace or how this how the world is changing right now, that everybody is really going for their desire and trying to reach out for their purpose and for their passion. And then I think you have the safe space of people telling you, okay, so maybe your light is a little bit too blue, or you can maybe get a little bit have another position because the windows at the back there are like too bright. And this is some like hands-on, nearly real-time experience where you're recognized and where you can so quickly just have a big progression on your skills in live broadcasting. And I think it's, of course, you can transfer it. What is good for live broadcasting is also then good for doing a video, a recorded video. So you just learn a lot. And so I have here your website. I hope it's still there. Yeah. So this is your website if people want to have a further look. So here feel free to comment on it. I will just scroll over under. So here we have the magic countdown.
Yeah. It's just really explaining over there. So that's adriansalisbury.com/ecam-live-academy. But it just explains to you what it is. So if it assumes that you've already got Ecam Live, which is the software. If you haven't, I think Daniel's got a link for that. You can do a 14-day trial. But yeah, we're really just, the purpose of the page very much is we're trying to show you how you can get going on Ecam and really look at all those testimonials of people that have been through. We've had over 1,000 people come through it now, and they love it. And we've had some amazing stories of people that have said, we've gone through this training and it's totally changed our life. Really, one the other day said, I couldn't have got doing this, and actually I didn't think all this was possible. I was trying to do something else, and then I've seen this live streaming and thought I can get going with that. And all of a sudden now he's become a celebrity online himself, starting out in this academy.
Wow, amazing!
So yeah, it's a great training, but it only comes up 4 times a year. So I really encourage, if anybody is interested, jump in. It's perfectly timed right now. Come and join us. Join the Facebook
Is
group.
it limited? Is the number of places limited, or?
Yeah, we have 250, and we're getting close to 200 now, actually. So
Okay. So
it's filling up.
So as we say in German, it sells like warm bread. So nice. So be quick. Yes. And I will just put live. So this is also something kind of new to me. So I will just put in live the how you can sign up for the trial, for the Ecam Live trial, and also for the Academy. I'm also happy to post this more detailed later on.
Yep.
So,
excellent.
Wow, fantastic. So I can just underline it was just a great experience, and so we are still connected. And I was amazed that I could go so far with actually also such a great price. So it's not the price that is the most definitive, but it's really so. I think everyone can really see you are really passionate about it. You would like people to really go for it, to reach out with it. And it's also just such a pleasure, Adrian, to help you promoting this. And this is your thing here. And I'm just excited for you as well, and for the new teammates starting this Ecom Live Academy. And also,
and it's lovely seeing how well you're doing and where you've got to with all this.
And now, so the final questions, as we actually put down our green screen again, I think, or should I leave my green? Yeah, that's so we go back into normal. So people can really see how it looks like. And okay. So, Theresia, thank you very much. Thanks, Daniel and Adrian. So professional, makes me want to jump on the Academy right away. That's the way to go. Sign up, you guys. And I think
let me know, actually, if you do come over, guys, let me know that when we get on the first live on Monday, just let me know that you came from Daniel. It'd be really encouraging to be able to say to Daniel, this is somebody who's watched on your...
Oh yeah, with pleasure.
I love this. Daniel's now has come through this and is now doing these lives, and he's doing a fantastic job. And it's encouraging to me to see that this training works. So it's kind of, we've gone full circle now, haven't we? And I love this. So
absolutely.
I would love to hear back that someone who's gone through this, in Daniel's case, is now promoting it, and they're bringing in new people. So who knows, Teresa, you could be the next one doing a live like this for the next class, bringing in people.
Oh yes, Teresa, you would be so great. So I'm absolutely convinced that would be wonderful.
I just think it's really leveled the playing field, hasn't it? We're not kind of trying, like you say, 5 years ago, I couldn't have competed against a corporate company in anything, but actually it makes no difference whether I'm sitting in a spare bedroom at home or in a very expensive production studio. We all show up looking exactly the same, and if the content we've got is useful to people, then we'll build that audience and we'll succeed.
Absolutely. And so one final thought. I read this and I have to think about it over and over again, and I came into social media like as a background in 2007. So when I worked for a social media agency here in Geneva. And that was then that I thought, I'm already a little bit behind. There are so many younger people that are already like the pros in Facebook advertisement. But I learned it all at the end. I think I got even further sometimes with that. And then I read this line like recently that live broadcasting has the potential to become the next, channel in digital. And I thought, wow, that's quite bold. And they compared it to search engine optimization. So I don't know if it's it could be a channel, a separate channel or something, but it has definitely, let's say, I don't know how we can define it. So is it the next big thing or something, but it's definitely a way how to attract people to your cause, to your thing that you are offering, that you would like to share with them. And it's interactive. And I would say it's the ultimate proof that you are really to walk the talk, that you are here with your thoughts. You're willing to interact right now with a question. You're also willing to make to get into the heat. And I think that is something that will be appreciated. And to have this constant bond, to have this constant connect. So I'm right now working with the Salesforce division where we talk every customer interaction is so important. And so this is another customer interaction that you can really define and to say, thank you everybody for sharing your thoughts and having your ideas. We will think about it. And so you have already defined again this interaction with a customer, with the to-be customers or with your audience that is so important these days. Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Oh, yeah.
Adrian. It was such a pleasure
Great
to
to see
have you
you.
in. And anything to add?
We'll do it again sometime.
Oh, it would be
No, I think
wonderful.
just encourage people, as Daniel's just been saying, it can be a phenomenally powerful tool. It's no way of build. There's no better way really to build know, like, and trust than through live video like this. And you guys have been watching in, and you've seen us, and you've been enjoying this. You're already starting to build a relationship with us, and it's that powerful. And I really encourage you to get going with this and have a start at it. And I would love to be your coach and help you. So yeah, Ecom
Wow.
Academy is definitely the place to start.
You are
Come and join
in
us.
super safe hands, and so you will just go as a rocket in 2021. Adrian, also all the very best for you for this.
Thank you.
New year. It's going to be a great year, and I think you're offering just what people need these days. Wishing you and your family, which is also part of your company, actually. Really.
That's right. Yes. Thank you very much.
All the best, Adrian. Bye-bye.
Thank you all for coming on.
Thank you. And thanks for watching to this lunchtime live. It was really a big pleasure to do this today. And I just wanted to share with you, I would like to continue this series that we talk about people, their ideas, their purposes, and why they are on purpose, because this is also the basis of being most authentic to your audience, to your clients, to the people you connect with, for your cause you care about. And so I would just like to invite you, if you would like to talk to me around lunchtime, I am happy to get in touch with you, and so to really elaborate and inspire others what could be their purpose, because it's most important to be on purpose these days, to have the maximum energy you need to realize what you want. So that's just my open invitation. So it doesn't have to be now. So year 2021 is just young, but hey, again, such a pleasure. I'm also sharing the link with Adrian later. It's my absolutely high recommendation. Go for it. It's really, really a great possibility to get this skill fast. And also, if you would like to know more about live broadcasting and updates, I have set up this page, Live Broadcasting Rocks. So it's like basically just a collection of for emails. And if you would like to go into the mailing list, I will set up a newsletter soon with the newest thing on live broadcasting and inspirational ideas on how to reach out in digital marketing these days. So go for this page, Live Broadcasting Rocks. You will see it right now. Thank you very much for being here this afternoon. Have a good rest of the lunch break. Seeing you soon. Bye-bye.